Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to massive news. We have our first reveals for the tactical tri-pack in the OCG. This is 3 brand new Dark Magician support cards from this pack. This is very exciting because this is kind of gonna set the tone for the rest of the pack as well. But let's get into this thing. So we were kind of curious on where we would go with tactical tri-pack. Is this going to just take the mold of duels pack and just give 7 cards for every archetype like duels pack have been doing? Seems off the bat like it may not kind of be going in that direction. We'll talk more at the end of it, but more than anything, we need to get into what these cards do. But real quick before that, just taking a look at the artwork on the pack here. You have the artwork we've already seen for the live twins. That's not a big deal. Or not live twins, Mikanko. We see the artwork we've already seen for Dark Magician. This hero artwork is different though. He different. That's a new masked hero, I would assume. So we'll find out him sooner than later. But let's get into the actual new Dark Magician cards. Of course, we start out with our brand new fusion monster. He is a level 8 dark spellcaster called Dark Magician of Destruction. His artwork is awesome. He looks sick. His hair is flowing. This guy knows how to play hockey. That's for sure. All right. 2800 attack, 2600 defense for the stats. He requires a Dark Magician plus any lighter dark monster. That does open the door for Super Poly to potentially be an additional strong card in Dark Magician, but we'll see. Oh no. I kind of just saw the first start to this. Must either be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extract by banishing a level 6 or higher dark spellcaster monster you control during the turn a spell card or effect was previously activated. This card's a link 1, right? Like I know we get fusion monsters like this that kind of blur the lines and there's a bunch of text that makes it not necessarily seem what it really is. Let's simplify it. This is a link 1, right? It's a conditional link 1. You have to have activated a spell card that turn, but it's basically a link 1 that takes any level 6 or higher spellcaster, dark spellcaster to make it. That's the first thing you need to kind of establish. As for its actual effects, you can only special summon it once per turn this way, no matter which method you use. Fine. This card's name becomes Dark Magician while face up on the field or in the graveyard. That's an awesome additional effect on him for sure. Just get him in rotation, and he does count as Dark Magician going forward. Oh my. If this card is special summon, you can add a Dark Magician or any card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. This card is so good. This card's so crazy. This card makes the Primite engine so much better, I feel like. Because even if you just go through the spells in Primite, like just being able to get the quick play spell off of load that then summons Dark Magician, that is a spell activated this turn, and now you have a DM on field. And then you can just immediately go into this. So without normal summon, you are searching any card that mentions Dark Magician, and you're getting 2 Dark Magicians in rotation. This card's phenomenal. It is a searcher that takes minimal setup and is practically a link 1 in terms of advantage that you have to give up to make it. This is a phenomenal card, and even has the benefit. Also, another sneaky thing, this card searches on special summon, not on link fusion summon or whatever. So that means he counts as Dark Magician. You summon him correctly originally. He searches a card, and now every single turn that you special summon him back from grave, once he's in rotation, he's searching again. So you're potentially searching on both players' turn every turn. Very cool. That's a phenomenal card. That can help tie the archetype together in a massive way. Not even joking. That's huge. All right, next up, we look at Timaeus, the United Magi Dragon. So a new version of Timaeus. He looks way more armored up than usual. That's very cool. It's a level 10, 28, 18 light dragon. Okay. Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl plus a dragon or spellcaster monster. Okay, fine. You can only use the second and third effect of this card once per turn. After this card is special summoned until the end of your next turn, this card is unaffected by other cards or effects. Okay, he gives you a towers option. What I like about him is that he might just be like, I feel like so many decks when they get a towers monster, it's like Pearly, where like if Pearly was not making Noir, it was like, what is this deck doing? You are not doing enough to win games. What is interesting is that like you don't even necessarily have to make this card, but like this card may just be like an option where like the deck doesn't have to make this for this to be like your you know what I mean, your win con, your boss monster that you have to make. You can just kind of set up Dark Magician stuff and still be fine, and then potentially have this as an option. And then, you know, when you need to in a grind state, in a whatever, you can make this as like at that point a win con once you diagnose the situation as needing kind of a pseudo towers to kind of get there. Also, of course, if this card battles during damage calculation, you could make this card gain 100 attack for every spell in the graveyards and banishments. So 28 is definitely a precarious stat line to be a towers because there are just so many monsters that hit 3K. But this second effect definitely helps mitigate that. Just get 2 or ideally 3, so that way your opponent can't crash you. But 3 spells either in your graveyard or your opponent's graveyard or both of your banishments. And this card is going to be tough to beat over in that case. And then third effect, during the opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target a spell or trap on the field, destroy it. That's just icing on the cake. I mean, it can, it's just a MST for your opponent's back row there. That's nice. That's nice. This card is fine. I don't think it's like overly broken for a towers, but again, for a deck that like may not necessarily have to make this as its main win con, but like when you like I said earlier, diagnose the situation as needing a towers monster as your win con, this card's nice to have. So it's fine. It's a good option for them to have. I would kind of put it in. And then lastly, we have the Gaze of Timaeus, a new quick play Timaeus spell. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. This card reads, target 1 Dark Magician or Dark Magician girl you control or in your graveyard as cost. Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extract that mentions it as material by shuffling that monster into the deck, but banish it during the end phase of the next turn. This is treated as a special summon with the Eye of Timaeus, so that also adds some extra synergy there. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. So a couple key things here. This card doesn't even have to shuffle 2 materials. This card basically says if you are going to shuffle Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl back into the deck, it is going to fully pay the fusion requirements for whatever you're fusion summoning. So that means you can just fusion this guy with that card. You can just fusion this guy with that card, and potentially some of the other ones. I know there's the I don't even remember the names. I'm gonna mess up the names because I don't know the full archetype of Dark Magician quite as well. But there's like the fusion boss monster they have, where it's like it's 2 of them combined, and when they're summoned, they're like a walking interruption on field. I don't know their name all that well, but that's cool. I like that. That's a very, very free cost. It's also a quick play spell. So again, you can kind of set a card like this and even see what the landscape of what your opponent is trying to do goes. And then from there, you're like, oh, a towers messes them up bad right now. Let me pop the towers out. Oh, I want to get follow-up. It looks like they're not going to fully kill me or break my board or threaten me too much. Let me make my guy. Let me get an extra search for guaranteed follow-up and cook from there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can do stuff like that. So this card's pretty good as well. I actually like this card quite a bit. All you have to do is basically get a DM or a DMG in rotation, and this card is just a 1-card boss monster or search or whatever you want, which is really, really sweet. And lastly, you do have a new printing for with a new artwork, which is Secrets of Dark Magic gets an alternate art, which is cool. I don't remember exactly what this card does. I don't remember being that good. If it is based around Magician of Black Chaos, I don't remember it being that strong, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't know the archetype of that inside and out, but all things considered, these cards are good, man. This fusion, really, really, really good. The spell, really solid. I wouldn't say like broken level good, but it is a really good fuel efficient spell card that gets you good payoff. And the towers monster is solid. I think it's a good option for them, but again, I don't think it's an integral part. I don't think the deck becomes a towers deck or anything. I think it becomes a new nice option for them that can win them games in certain board states, right? Which brings us to the final kind of conclusion here, which is very, very intriguing, that these are the cards that have been revealed. It's also important to note that this is card 1 in the set, this is card 2 in the set, and this is card 3 in the set, which leads me to believe that these are the only 3 like hard Dark Magician support cards. It is possible that that's not true. It is possible we'll get another, 4, 5, 6, 7 or whatever, and those are all also Dark Magician cards. But based on what we're seeing here, from what we've seen in the past, they generally like to reveal almost, if not all but one. So maybe there's one more Dark Magician card here. I wondered this at the beginning because of the way Konami worded this new product. It didn't seem like it was just going to be straight up like a duelist pack and it was just going to be 5 to 7 new cards for all 3 archetypes. The way they worded it said there were going to be multiple different ways you could try to play a deck. And so that makes me think that there would be direct support like this, 3 really solid cards for Dark Magician that really, really do help them. And then maybe we'll see some generic additions as well. You know what I mean? Like Primite-esque maybe support for something like Dark Magician that like gives them different options and ways they can try to go, which is cool. I'm still open to that. They just need to execute it. And I have no idea what direction they're actually going to take it in. But if they execute it well, I'm not going to complain, right? It doesn't have to be direct support for everything, in my opinion. But very exciting because these are good, man. The fusion and the quick play spell to me are specifically awesome. The second fusion is also solid. So if you're setting the tone for all 3 archetypes with like expect heroes to get 2 phenomenal cards and 1 solid card on top of that, I'd say done. If you're telling me you're a big Mikanko fan and they're going to get 2 phenomenal cards and 1 solid card on top of that, I'd say sick. Give me that. So if you're a fan of those archetypes, definitely stay tuned for that. I will keep you guys updated when those cards come out. But this is definitely a good step in the right direction. This is just good execution overall. I think this already probably moves Dark Magician in a forward position. You know what I mean? And just to be able to perform the way that it really wants to. So very excited to see how much this impacts them, or if there's more stuff down the line, because I think there probably should be or will be. So we'll see. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below. If you're a big Dark Magician fan, let me know your thoughts on how big at least these 3 cards help them out. And if they need more, if you feel like they should get some other cards to help cover holes in the strategy, let me know what those holes are and let me know what you think they should get. I'd love to hear that as well down below. But I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching as always, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.